Howdy, world. It's February 21st. It's late. I'm not even sure what time it is. I think it's like about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to download some posts for you that I put on here, videos of mine. And I thought I'd tell you a little Cowboy Grady, true life, real life story. And it's about I was in junior high. It's about the first time I heard some loud. I like some loud every once in a while. I like some quiet a lot more than I used to. It says in the Bible, study to be quiet, live a quiet life, work with your hands. God in the Old Testament it says, God loves the quiet in the land the best, the most. That's what we're called for. He kind of like us to be quiet people, humble people, but there's a season for all things unto heaven, under heaven. Ecclesiastes, real cool old hippie song. Turn, 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 there is a season for all things unto heaven. But anyways, I'm in junior high. It was like my first year. I loved it too. I loved it so much. My school, they were building a swimming pool, a real nice swimming pool. I never got to go swimming in actually because I didn't stay that long at that school, or most of them. But I loved that one the most. And one day, they had a little free concert in the gymnasium. And they let us go a little early to go, if we wanted to go. And so I stopped in the gym, and I was already liking music a lot. I mean, I always was, but I hadn't really gotten into it. I mean, a lot until like about fifth grade. It's about when I really, it really just got to me. Like the first song was kind of really, got to me. There was a song called Fox on the Run. A lot of my friends had it, and we used to play it, and I love that song. There's a movie called 20th Century American Foxes. It was a big movie in my generation, little big movie. Stars Jodie Foster, who is like one of the greatest actresses of my generation, if not the greatest, and I always loved her so much. I thought she is just amazing, beautiful, and amazing talented. She was, you might not know this, but excuse my coughing and my that and all that. But she was the original model as a little girl for Coppertone suntan lotion. And they had a little ad campaign, and they had a little dog like who was biting on the back of her bathing suit and pulling down, showing her buttocks a little bit. But it was really cute. People loved it actually, and it was one of the first things she did and made her a big star. And also there was a millionaire. I think his name was Hobie. He sold Hobie catamarans, these really cheap ones. But I think he founded Coppertone, and was like really one of the first people to really capitalize on like sunscreen lotion and suntan lotion and all that long time ago. But he was a millionaire, and I really liked him a lot. And he would not dress up. He hated dressing up. He mostly wear like Hawaiian shirts and shorts. And he lived in Hawaii. He was a pretty cool guy to me. And he made all these real cheap Hobie cats, little catamarans, you could skid around on. And I was respected. I liked him and I admired him a lot. And I never met the man, but I really did. I seen him a bunch of times and listened to him a bunch of times, and read a little bit about him, and I really liked him a lot. And he's kind of wild, crazy guy, But anywho, back to the subject at hand, if I could remember. Oh, anyway, so I went into the gymnasium. And a lot of people didn't go. Just mostly a bunch of girls I know, and not even a lot of them, But I went in there, man, and it was so amazing. It was there's a band. It's called Bay City Rollers. They're Irish kids mostly. Back in my time, back then, had a lot of little garage bands. Everybody wanted to be like now. Everybody wanted to be or did want to be a rap star, and back then everybody wanted to be a little rock star, and everybody had these little garage bands, and there was a bunch of people that started out that way and got real famous, and I did eventually. I wanted to be in one, and I was kicking around thinking about it a little bit when I was about 16, and a little before that called. I thought I wanted to be real wild like Joe Cocker and Gilda Radner did on Saturday Night Live. This imitation of this crazy punked out rocker chick from like the early 70s stuff, Candy Smythe. That was kind of an imitation of her, and it was real funny. And she would like brush her armpits, and she'd come out and act like she was all stoned, and they'd have to carry her around. And I kind of wanted to be like that, like in being black leather pants or torn jeans and a white t-shirt, be all wild and have a band called the Hard Sex Band. That's what I thought my band would be really cool, be called Hard Sex Band, and just get laid and played and paid and have a lot of fun and be wild. I was 16. What the heck do you know when you're 16? And that's what I was working a little bit on at the time, and just be really wild and crazy. And but kind of I was planning on getting stoned out of my mind, and at the time I did get stoned out of my mind lots of times, lots of ways. But it was more to kind of I was planning more like kind of kind of more like a faux and more a put on kind of part, like way more drugged than I would be even generally. And I'm laughing. I hope you think that's funny, but it's true. I mean, anyways, I went into this gymnasium, and they had like these lights, like the colors at that time, like pink and baby blue and stuff for, that. And they had this band. They were pretty good, actually. They're kind of takeoff. I don't know, I never met the kids or seen them before. They were older guys, too, anyways. I was like 12, 13 or something. And they were like, like 17, 18 or something. And they looked a lot like the Bay City Rollers and sounded like them. They had a big, huge hit. They were from Michigan, a little garage band called Saturday Night. And I loved it so much. And it was a huge theme song of my generation. And it sounds so sweet and innocent and kind of corny now, but I still like it every once in a while when I can get into it. And anyways, but I went in there, and man, they were loud. They had lots of amplifiers, and it was loud. And it was the first time I really ever heard any real loud. And I was like, man, this is loud. Man, I like this loud too. And there's a lot of pretty little junior high girls in there that I knew and wanted to know and stuff. And it just sounds so good, that loud. It was so loud I could barely hear myself talk or think, and it just blew me away. And I liked the loud, And I just thought I'd share that. That was kind of the first time I heard some loud. And my school, though, it was, had a little unusual thing that was so awesome to me, which is kind of, if I am Shogun, God willing, I'm Shogun, and I hope I am Shogun, and we could build so much beautiful in America, make America beautiful and rich and blessed again. But, one thing I really want to see happen if I am, or even if I don't, is that all teenagers, junior high and high school, they go to school from 11 to 7, Monday through Friday, standard, because they have a different biorhythm, and they need a lot more sleep than other human beings in that particular age group. And it's a lot, and they tend to stay up. They have like a pre-program in them to stay up later and to sleep later, and they need a lot more sleep. They need like 10 hours a day average, to really be at their tops and to learn best. And like I said, my junior high, it was doing some things, and they had junior high kids. It was a junior high and a high school, and they had junior high kids come in, we started, I think, about 12, or 12:15 or something like that. And we stayed like till 5:30, and the high school kids, they came in at like 5:15 or 5:30 in the morning, and they left when we came in. And I don't know how those kids did it, but I used to see them on the bus. I really liked that a lot. I actually liked seeing them. I liked them guys. I thought they were kind of cool. I loved that school. I only went there for I'm not even sure I went the whole year. But man, it never left me. Never. There was a couple schools I loved more than others. I liked most of them. But man, that school never left me. One time, I learned something really awesome there too. I want to pass this on too. I wrote about most of everything I tell you. It's been posted a bunch of times. Almost everything I tell you, or in Craigslist here. It's editor, And anyways, not everything and not everywhere, but anyways, I say that because. I try to tell the truth always, and that's one real good step to righteousness, is to make the lifetime commitment to tell the truth always, no matter what. You're just going to tell the truth. You don't have to tell everything but, you just tell the truth. Sometimes people go weird places, too, you say, say you want to go to the store, and you're like, I'm going to go to the store. And you go into the store and you see McDonald's is running special, so you stop, and you told your honey before you left, well, I'm going to the store, and then you go there and you go eat at McDonald's, and then you go in the store is closed, so you come home and you're like, and your honey's like, hey, where you been? Well, I went to McDonald's. Well, you told me you're going to the store. You're lying to me? Well, no, I'm not lying to you. I was going to the store, but McDonald's was running a special. I didn't, mean rigid like that. In the Bible, there used to be, before Jesus Christ, a lot of the Jewish people before him and stuff, they were real rigid like that too. I mean, they would say, I'm going to the store. They would go to the store, and I mean, they would not go anywhere else, and they would come right back. And I mean, even if something happened, they die to keep their word, And Jesus Christ, God is not about that rigidity, That's kind of that is, that's legalistic thinking, But you try to tell the truth the best you can. Sometimes you got it. You're saying something more complicated, and you got to go into it more to tell the exact truth to the detail, but you don't want to spend 26 hours there telling the person, every detail of your life to get to, what I'm saying? It's not always easy, but man, it's so worth it, and it pays off. I've seen it pay off. It's hard at first, but it gets easier, But anyways, another real good lesson I learned at that school, around that time, my parents had been having problems for like a year or two, and they were going through a divorce, and I didn't really know any other kids or know of that their parents had been divorced, and I was feeling so horrible, man. It killed me. It killed me. My parents were getting divorced. I hated it so much. I still hate it. I have like step parents. I usually just refer to them as my mom and dad and stuff. But I still, believe it or not, I still pray that, my parents, and, seems like a slim chance, but, God can do anything but lie, sin, and evil. And I still pray that they would one day get back together, It's kind of maybe stupid to you, but not to me. So, and it's kind of complicated because, I have step parents that I love, and my stepdad's been so good to my mom, and I love my stepmom, I love my stepdad, and, but, that's just where my heart goes. But anyways, so I was kind of crushed, one day we had homeroom, and it was also my art class, and I went in there, and I was kind of bummed, my parents were really going to it at that time. It was real hard. My dad had just told me, that they were getting divorced, and he wasn't divorcing us, he's just divorcing her, and kind of did divorce us in a lot of ways. But I was really crushed, and the art teacher, she was a real nice lady, wonderful lady. She goes, "What's the matter with you?" Kind of like something like that, and I don't remember exact words, but I said, "Oh, my parents are getting divorced," and she said something else, and I was like, I'm like, I think I said like I'm the only person. Parents are divorced or something, or she said, or something like, well, do you think you're the only person that parents are, that are divorced? And then she like asked the class, there was like, I think maybe 20, 30 kids in the class. I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly. And I never counted them anyways. But I knew a lot of them anyways. But she said, anybody in this class, whose parents are divorced, if you want, raise your hand up, and everybody in the whole class raised up their hand. And I thought I was like the only person in the world like that was going through that hard thing, and every single kid in that class raised up their hand that their parents were divorced, and that helped me out. I felt, I didn't feel so alone anymore. I just want to pass on these things, I got one more too, see. I hope you like these stories. But I got, the first kind of like dance, I went to, I was like in third grade, I think, and I had this babysitter, and we were good friends too, and her family was good friends with mine. And she was a lot older than me, but I thought she was like so cool and so everything, really. And once in a while, she would feel sorry for them or something, or tolerate me and let me hang out with her. And I just adored her, really. And anyways, we walked downtown, and there was this little strip center, and they had this one little place, this little store that was empty a lot of times, still is empty a lot of times. But somebody had made it into a little club, and they had like painted the walls like pink, and they had all these fancy lights. And this was back in like hippie days, really, kind of in the early 70s. And I was like in third grade, and we went in there, man. The music was kind of loud, but not loud like that concert, but it was kind of loud, and everybody was dancing, and they had like, I think, some like lava lamps and a couple beanbag chairs on the floor. It was just a little storefront, but they had fixed it up in this cool club, and me and her like danced to some music and had a good time. And I went outside a little later. I met another friend of mine from school, and it was just blew my mind, and that was like, I was in third grade. I had such a good time, and it was like for teenagers, you couldn't be like old to go in there, but it was just for kids. And a lot of them were like her, most of them were like her age. There was one other girl, she was like hot beyond belief, and she was about my age. And though she wouldn't talk to me at all, I tried to talk to her, she just kind of gave me the rub off. Not the first time, not the last, I'm sure. But anyways, God bless you. You have a wonderful night, a wonderful life. Cowboy Grady, peace, love, out. Shout about it. Love. God is love, says the Holy Bible. Out.